Operation Mechagon has 32
The
minutes.
city itself, and that means passing through the Robodrome.
And we are currently on our way to the first area.
Wait, what's this? Some surface dwellers have unwittingly stumbled into the arena.
Careful those bombs, you do not want to stand in any of the bombs. Watch the saw blades. Always step towards the familiar area. So if you just saw a saw blade go past that area, you want to step in that area. Do not step in a direction where you're unsure if the saw blade is going to pass that direction. Detonate. Make sure you're interrupting. Detonate. Careful of the saw blades.
Now this is a statistical anomaly. Our visitors are
On the
still
side
alive.
of what else have I played for World of Warcraft though? I played a lot of League, a lot of Overwatch, and a lot of... Overwatch was almost pre-Apex though. I kind of played Overwatch before
The
Apex.
city's entrance is located just past this arena. You must hold your
And I
ground
did
until
try
you get
Fortnite. I didn't like Fortnite. I don't think it's a bad game. I just don't think it's... I don't think it's what I would focus on to play a lot. I played a lot of first-person shooters, that's what I should say, for World of Warcraft. Because prior to Overwatch, I actually was playing Titanfall. So I played a lot of first-person shooters. The closest thing to World of Warcraft that I played was Neverwinter. I don't know if you guys have ever played Neverwinter. Neverwinter is a RPG, MMORPG game based in the Dungeons and Dragons world. So it is actually kind of cool. Now I did choose my first character. My rogue, based on Assassin's Creed, because he's an assassin. So I did play that for a little bit, but I only played like side quests on that. I didn't actually play Assassin's Creed. If that makes sense. Platinum tumbler.
Let its darkness fill you.
Watch these blades. Moving the boss to the next hammer. Oh, and then a lot of Nintendo and app games. But it would take me a long time to list all of those. Watch the maximum thrust. Ground pound. Defensive during ground pound. Watch those saw blades. Punch me. Platinum tumbler. 7% left on the boss.
A stunning victory for the surface dwellers! But we're still throwing them out with the trash! 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 Trash!
Alright, pulling the first saw blade guy with the two dunk guys that are down the way. Careful with puncture. Make sure you're using defensive during puncture. I messed up my rotation. I didn't use Reaper's Mark.
Scrabbling after any shred of control.
Good note, as a Death Knight, you generally want to use Reaper's Mark off cooldown. If you're using the Deathbringer tree, you want to use Reaper's Mark off cooldown. A lot of people are playing with Sandlin right now because Sandlin does deal significantly more damage than the Deathbringer's tree. I just have not tried Sandlin. The thing with Sandland Towns is you're giving up a lot of defensives, so you're actually kind of relying a lot on your party to get interrupts and stuff so that you can live. And Death Knights are kind of notorious for being able to live by themselves. So you have to put on a stronger... You have to put on like a stronger, I want to say defensive trinket in order to make up for your lack of defensive talents. So I've not tried Sandland yet, but I do think it's worth trying out. Careful with the Living Waste. Don't forget that when the Living Waste die, they actually explode and deal a burst of damage to you and your party. You can line sight the Living Waste right as they die by standing behind this pole. Standing behind the pole will keep you from taking the burst of damage from the Living Waste. In some level keys during Shadowlands, it was impossible to live through the Living Waste. You did have to line of sight, it wasn't a choice. So I would recommend just line of sighting to get in the habit of it. Unless you're the tank. If you're the tank, use a defensive. Okay, pulling the junkyard dogs. No, we just pulled Cujo. Venting flames. You want to line of sight venting flames. You also want to dispel this dot on your tank, because the tank does take a lot of damage from this dot. Blazing Chomp. So Blazing Chomp inflicts 1.4 million damage to the tank. Let's see if we can get him out. Oh, he might have actually... Nope, he didn't. I thought you made it far enough out that the boss jumped to him and reset. That would have been nice. Then I was just looking at something really quick. I lost my Discord. I don't know. We're gonna right click on it down on our bar and close it. Close window. There we go. Because I don't know where it is. But we're gonna close it just in case we were on any of the channels. I don't think we were though. Okay, now the ads are dead. Now we can pull Cujo. I would be careful with Cujo. I don't recommend pulling ads with Cujo. Chances are either the Chain Lightning or the orb from the mage probably hit the ads. We were probably just too close. Or hit the boss. It's not hard to be too close to Cujo. So. Careful with that firebox. You want to step away from the firebox. Remember, one new box is going to drop right after the firebox. Now you can have 3 red arrows. Take those red arrows away from the party. Cujo is going to jump on the 3 players with the red arrows. Hold on a second. I got 2 stacks of this. It can be dispelled. Paladin's freakishly good. He's just standing there.
It's playtime.
scrabbling after any shred of
Get
control.
Cujo over by the red firebox so that we can line of sight the box and Cujo. Yeah, we should be okay here, I think. Cujo is so cute, right? Isn't Cujo so cute? If you want a dog like Cujo, though, you have to have mechanical. You have to be able to tame mechanical pets. Sadly, my hunter cannot tame mechanical pets. I can only tame... I can tame unholy and... I don't remember. I can tame two kinds. Unholy and something. As a Beastmaster, you can tame exotic. But... I cannot tame mechanical, which kind of sucks. I need the ability to tame mechanical pets and feathered pets. Careful with the fire. Looks like they already pressed the button to turn off the fire.
Warning.
Cujo actually has a
Excessive
cute name
levels
too.
of flesh detected.
Like an actual animal name.
Attention, citizens! Please remain in your domiciles. Guards are currently en route to quell the disturbance.
I'm gonna pull the ads. Giga Wallop. Make sure you're interrupting Giga Wallop. Giga Wallop is gonna pick a random target and shoot a wallop of electricity at that target. You want to be careful with that and make sure that you are interrupting Giga Wallop every time it is cast. You can use interrupts or CCs on Giga Wallop.
Mortals. Scrabbling after any shred.
So, you dismantled a few of my lesser inventions. Let us see how you fare against something
Pulling
more
all the mechs
advanced.
together. Careful with these mechs. Don't forget that the mechs deal a lot of damage to you and your party. You generally want to make sure you're using it defensive during the short out cast. There are other casts and things that these mechs do, but the short out cast is going to do the most damage to you. Especially if there are two short outs going off at the same time. Ads are almost dead.
So, you possess some
Alright,
modicum
waiting
of
for the center
skill.
guy to show up.
It will prove insufficient against my newest prototype.
Sonic Pulse. Be careful, Sonic Pulse. Sonic Pulse again. Careful with the conducting discharge. Oh, capacitor discharge. Be careful with the discharge cast. You want to make sure you're stepping in the dark colored floor during the discharge cast. The dark colored floor will be outlined with two light colored lines. Make sure you are between the two light colored lines to avoid the discharge.
Sparklocks! The invaders have made it past the outer defenses. I want their stench removed from my city.
I have activated all civic defenses, my king. Rest assured, these organisms
careful
will
with
be
these robots.
expunged from our metropolis.
Yeah,
Warning.
no,
Excessive
I'm not that
levels
fast.
of flesh detected.
I
Warning.
was close, but I was not that fast.
Warning. Excessive levels of flesh
Oh, cool.
detected. Warning.
Mage jumped the robot. Just waiting on our priest and then we are good. You got this, priest. Everyone loves a good maze during a speedy dungeon, right? That's a cool mini game. The maze is like the maze back in the... It's not called Tezevesh. I don't remember what it's called. Let me look really quick. I'll tell you in a second. Dawn of the Infinite. It's like the Dawn of the Infinite maze. Nice. Paladin caught the priest. The priest almost got hit. Paladin used his freedom to speed the priest up a little bit, and he just made it past the ads. Careful with the squirrels. Do not stand in the squirrels. Tune-up is a heal. You want to make sure you're using interrupts or CCs on the heal. Watch that shield. Remember, if the ads stand inside the shield, they're going to take reduced damage. And if you stand inside of the shield, you will take reduced damage. So ideally, you want to stand inside of the shield during the short out phase. Going to the head mechanic, Spark Flux.
Welcome to my garden.
I forgot to make sure everybody was with me.
I'll just take a little off the top.
96% of the boss.
Of the highest caliber.
Heading over to the inconspicuous plant. Make sure you are focusing down the inconspicuous plant every time you see it. As soon as you see the inconspicuous plant, well, you want to focus it down as quickly as possible. Careful those beams.
I'll just take a little off the top.
Also, the orbs, you want to make sure you're picking up each other's orbs. These orbs are going to give you a damage buff. That's the Apex this week. The Void Pulsar damage buff, which will give you 20% increased mastery and 10% increased leech. If you do not pick up the orbs before the timer runs out, the orbs will give the bosses a buff or adds trash whatever. Careful with saw blades. Don't forget that the saw blades do deal a lot of damage to you. The damage does not stick though. There's no dot from the saw blades. You just want to make sure you avoid the saw blades because they do deal a lot of damage to you when they're on top of you.
Yes.
This bomb cast here, the circle on the floor,
All of you.
be very careful with that circle because that circle actually does disorient you. As a tank, you can be CC'd, you can be rooted, you can be interrupted, and you can still maintain aggro. If you are disoriented, you lose aggro on the mobs. Even the boss will not. You can't hold aggro while you are disoriented. So you want to be very careful with that. 18% left on the boss. Watch those beams. %, left on the boss. Did I miss a cannon? I think I did, but I think the paladin got it. It's a really good paladin. 6% left. 3, 2, 1. Pulling the tanks up the stairs. We're gonna pull both spider tanks together. Make sure you're using defensives when the spider tanks are shooting off their rockets. And watch for the sonic pulse. Step left or right to avoid the sonic pulse cast.
Scrabbling after any shred of control.
Sonic pulse again. Again, left or right to avoid that sonic pulse cast. Ooh, they're 3k guys. That was the shaman. Oh, the mage is 31 after rated.
We can commandeer that transport to access Mechagon's tower.
So, my
Alright, going to the
misguided
next
son
area.
returns. I'm impressed you made it this far.
You are no longer my father. Just a malfunctioning machine that must be shut down.
Poor child. If only you could accept the truth.
Take a
The
wallop.
curse of flesh has run rampant across Azeroth, and I will replace it with mechanical purity.
Watch that squirrel. Squirrel is right underneath us. Remember, the shields will not protect you from the squirrel. You want to be very careful with that. Giga Wallop, interrupt Giga Wallop. Anti-squirrel. Careful with that squirrel.
Mortals,
Giga Wallop guy is almost dead.
After any
You can use
shred of
CCs or
control.
interrupts on the Giga Wallop guy. I wonder if the priest can do the skip. Probably can't. He was 3k last season. Which means he's just unlucky with the keys. He's not a bad player. Yes, no, maybe. No. Alright, careful with that Giga Wallop cast. Yeah, it's unlucky, but it's not bad. I would type out what I wanted to do, but sometimes if they don't know what you're asking, it's hard to explain it. And the skip is not easy on this dungeon. Yes, you can mind soothe past them, but when you mind soothe them, you have to hug this wall as tightly as possible and skip all the way across. You also cannot have any pets. So if you're Warlock, no Warlock pets. If you're a Death Knight, no Death Knight pets. If you're a Hunter, no Hunter pets. You cannot have any pets. So mind soothe, hug the wall, skip past them, no pets. Even a Shaman's Golem pulls them. So you do want to be very careful with that skip if you do choose that skip. You can also shroud past them. The easiest way to skip these ads in the corner though is a lock gate from here to here. The lock gate actually helps you skip right over them. That is going to be the easiest way to skip the ads.
Witness
The boss.
perfection.
Careful those electrical circles.
You
Make sure
cannot
you're not
elude
standing
my
in the electrical
targeting
circles.
system.
Mega Zap. Use defensive during Mega Zap. Game pros, he says. Okay, he's back now. 79% left on the boss.
Cannot elude my targeting system.
Yeah,
Mega Zap. Be careful with the Mega Zap.
all of you. Feed on
Watch
the
the arrows.
Activating thruster.
Take off. Careful with the last cutting beam. Be careful with the cutting beam.
You cannot elude my targeting
56% left on the boss. Watch those blue circles. Be careful not to get hit off the edge. I know in the second phase it's easier to see yourself getting hit off the edge, but you can actually get hit off the edge around this entire map. You want to be very careful not to stand on a side near the edge where the orb thing is coming. The electrified orb thing. Cutting beam. Use the defensive if you're under the boss during cutting beam. If you are the one the boss is focusing, make sure you are kiting the boss away from yourself. The boss was attached to you. Careful that pulse blast.
scrub.
Mega Zap. Mega Zap picks a random player and zaps them with Mega Zap. After being zapped with Mega Zap, you're going to get a dot that actually will make you take 100% increased damage from the next Mega Zap.
All you have done is
You want to make sure that you are being very careful and you are...
You wish to test my true ordnance?
You want to make sure that you're being very careful and you are not taking 2 Mega Zaps. If 2 Mega Zaps have targeted you 2 in a row, then you want to line of sight behind another player. The Mega Zap will hit the player in front of you instead. Watch these electrical circles. 74% on the boss.
Magnetic grapple engaged.
Thought we faced him already. Forgot about the grapple phase. Boss is pulling in the orbs.
All power to weapons.
6% left on the boss. Go for that ID. Beam on the priest. Ouch. Beam on me. That Mega Zap, you cannot line of sight, you just want to use the defensive.
Cannon!
Mortals. Scrapping after any shred of control.
Magnetic grapple engaged.
Remember that when the boss is about to suck in the orbs aren't actually going to jump, but you still want to step out of the circle just to be safe. 5% left on the boss.
All power to
There are 3
weapons.
phases on this boss fight. The first phase, you fight the mech boss on his mini mount. Second phase, you fight the mech boss in the mech mount. And the third phase, you kill King Mechagon himself.